On Thursday, President Donald Trump signed an executive order aimed at cutting money to NPR and PBS.
The order directs the Corporation for Public Broadcasting to end federal funding for National Public Radio and the public broadcasting system.
Earlier today, I spoke with PBS Wisconsin's Director of Television, John Miskowski, about the potential impacts here.
Well, I think there's a lot of things in the news right now. So last night, there was this issue of a presidential order. Understand that this is unfolding, so we don't have a clear understanding yet of what that is. But folks should understand that is the Corporation for Public Broadcasting is not a federal agency, and that its congressional charter, if you will, is very clear about independence. So that will play out. What is also in the news is about federal funding for public broadcasting. And so that's a really significant national investment in learning for young people, resources for America's schools, the local stories that we tell in Wisconsin and that PBS and NPR stations tell across the country. So I think all of those are at risk. The critical thing that we're encouraging and our friends groups are encouraging is for folks to be engaged and share their story. Every one of us have access to the work of Wisconsin Public Television. Everyone has access to the work of Wisconsin Public Radio. You can hear it and you can judge it and you can understand that. And we certainly invite and do criticism, concerns. We take a lot of compliments, and we also take some really thoughtful criticism for our work. So rather than how anybody feels, to me, I always defer to, I'm not going to tell anybody how they feel. I want to hear how people feel and encourage, again, in this political conversation, it's really critical that viewers, however they feel about this, contribute to this national contribution, this national conversation.
And you did make the point, this is not a federal agency, but if you eliminate these federal dollars, does that impact you? And what kind of a hit would you stand to take from that?
It's pretty significant. Now, we don't have a proposal at Congress right now, so it'd be speculative a little bit to say what that means. But federal funding has been really critical in building out public media across the country. So if you look at the history in Wisconsin, public television and public radio started in Madison and Milwaukee, and it has been that support that has helped us serve rural areas of the state. And so I think that's critical in going forward. The key, services that folks know well, and some that folks don't know so well. So people know about our local Wisconsin programming well. They know about, Concerts on the Square and our history programs and celebration of, arts and culture across the state, and the political coverage on Wisconsin Public Radio and PBS Wisconsin. Something people know about, but maybe don't know as much about, is our service for young people and children's program. People know about Sesame Street, know about, Fred Rogers' tradition that continues on with new programs, but maybe aren't so familiar with the tremendous impact that has on preparing children for school.
And we'll continue to follow it. Very interesting. Coming up on